Coming up, I'm going to be talking about Agatha all along, plus also how the Acolyte has been doing on Disney+, Futurama, and much more. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney+ news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's time for a quick Disney+ news roundup. So let's start off talking about Agatha all along. So Marvel has now released the first teaser trailer for this upcoming series, which will be premiering on Disney+ with 2 episodes on September the 18th. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney end up doing that little last minute sort of hodgepodge where they move it forward a few hours so it drops in prime time. They've not confirmed that yet, but that's what I suspect tends to happen. They tend to put out all this announcement because it's a global one, unless they decided that they're just not going to bother doing that anymore. But I don't know. But nevertheless, so we've got the new trailer. We're seeing Agatha return. Obviously, she was a character that was introduced in WandaVision, where she kind of got sent off into some kind of weird world where she's living in TV. She basically thinks she is in a CSI show and she's a detective. However, we then end up getting a little bit of a kind of connection there with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where it teases the fact that Wanda has been killed, and therefore that's opened it up. And then I've seen some other theories as well, where there's a thing where it says W. Maximoff, that actually could be William, or another, so that could be kind of connected to Billy, so that could be a way of them doing it. But yeah, the trailer itself, I was kind of quite interested in this one. It's the series that I was probably the least excited for. Agatha's not a character that I'm particularly aware of. I've never read any of the comic books. Recently been seeing her popping up quite a bit in the Midnight Suns video game I've been recently playing. So kind of a character in that one. But the actual trailer did a really good job for me of getting me interested in this series. It definitely has that Halloween gothic vibe, kind of a little bit like CW, Sabrina kind of vibe going on here. Very much kind of disconnected from everything going on within the larger MCU. The fact that we get that Marvel Television logo right at the beginning kind of indicates that, you know, this is different. This is not going to be for everyone, and I think that's kind of a way that Marvel is kind of moving in, that not everything necessarily, especially in the TV land, is going to be a sort of a massive thing connected to the rest of the MCU. Now, I do think there's obviously looks like Wiccan is being introduced in this series, going to be played by Joe Lockhart, who was fantastic in Heartstopper, and so I like the look of him in this series. That kind of looks good, being very flamboyant. I like that whole aspect of them bringing that in from the comic books. But overall, I did think the trailer really did do a very good job of highlighting what this is. You know, this is about witches, and if you are not interested in witches and you don't want to watch anything with, you know, women or anything like that, then this is just not going to be a show for you. That's just the bottom line is, this is a character which I don't know necessarily if it needed its own series, but it could be fun. It could be an interesting move forward. I don't know necessarily if they maybe would have greenlit that now, but it's also almost like a continuation of WandaVision, which might then help lead into Vision Quest. I don't know, but anyway, you look at it, I thought the trailer looks good, very different. It is not in the same vein as everything else. Whether or not we get the same problem that we've had with some of the other Marvel series recently, where they start good, get a little bit lackluster in the middle, and then kind of rush the ending. Hopefully they've kind of learned. I think the fact that this one comes from the WandaVision creator, I've got a lot more hope that it doesn't. And there was also a really great scene where she kind of comes out and she's all like black and white, like she is an Agatha. I thought that was a really powerful shot. Got scary stuff in there. I thought it looked good. I know there's going to be mixed reaction to the series. You can already see that online on the responses to it. Of just some people are just like, I don't want to watch this. And it's that kind of thing of like, not everything. This is a story about witches. This is what this is. This is what the story is. That's what it's going to be about. I'm in. I definitely feel like this might be one that my wife might be a bit more interesting, because she tends to like those kind of shows as well. But definitely feels like lower stakes, the visual effects and stuff. It feels more like a television show. not quite have that same big budget. But we're obviously just going to have to wait. But I'm looking forward to watching it. Obviously, that's going to be dropping then right through September and October on Disney Plus, with a big finale then for the Halloween season. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this one. But let me know, are you looking forward to watching Agatha all along? Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about Futurama, because Disney's also released the first trailer for the upcoming 12th season of the show, which will be coming out on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States and on Disney Plus around the world on July the 29th. New episodes dropping each and every week. The trailer is all over the place, just a load of random stuff that you'd expect from Futurama that they can get away with that other shows just can't, because it's set in the future. None of it makes any sense. It's all just, in some ways, a little bit gobbledygook. I love this show. I'm definitely going to be watching it when it comes in. But as I said, the teaser trailer was so full of like random stuff that none of it really kind of indicates what's going on. But looking forward to it. I think this one's going to be a big hit over the summer. And obviously you can watch the previous seasons now on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus and on Disney Plus. I did find it quite interesting in the trailer that said, from the creator of The Simpsons. It's like, Futurama has been around for like 20 plus years, 12 seasons. It's, you know, you wouldn't really think you'd need to do that at that point, but they're just trying to get people in and watching it. But let us know, you're looking forward to watching Futurama. Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Let's now talk about the Acolyte. So the first 2 episodes were released a few weeks ago on Disney Plus. However, the Nielsen numbers, which kind of indicates kind of how many people in the US are watching something, and they kind of monitor everything. It's our only real way of seeing how shows are doing compared to other platforms and stuff. Well, the first month information now has come out for the premiere of the Acolyte, and it did pretty well. It was in the top 10 originals. It had 488 minutes, putting it in 7th place. But this is not, it's good that it's on the chart, because not every single original does, but I'm going to be honest, this is a lot lower than I was hoping it would be, because Disney put out that big announcement saying that he'd done big numbers and it was popular all over the world. But the problem is the Nielsen numbers are just based on the US. So therefore, if you take all the international audience out, how many people watched it? And obviously that number that they Nielsen put out is the amount of minutes watched. Now, obviously with 2 episodes, much higher to be able to get it up. Now, whether or not it creeps up over the coming weeks as new episodes come out, that could definitely be the case. But those viewing figures are drastically down on Ahsoka, which last year was around about, the premiere was about 800 million minutes. So 400 plus million, that's a big chunk less. And then compared to the Mandalorian season 3, which is well over 1,000 million minutes, yeah, you can see now that there is a drastic drop off in viewership. Now, doesn't come as a huge surprise, because there is a massive audience online that is just hating on the Acolyte, and there is a lot of audience as well that is enjoying it, and then you got a lot of other people in the middle. I am enjoying it. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. There was a kid in the episode last week that was a Jedi, and he just really just would have liked for May just to, you know, chop his head straight off, because he was useless. But nevertheless, yeah, I think there's this kind of thing with the Acolyte where this is going to feed into the idea that it's not done very well. Whether or not we get to see more seasons of this show, whether or not they're going to plan to do that, I kind of hope in some way, if they haven't finished the story, I hope they at least have the, you know, the testicular fortitude to kind of give it the second season to kind of finish off the story. But if they can finish it off in one season, and then Disney maybe just looks at this and goes, look, the audience is just not interested in this in enough numbers to make it worth doing. They are cutting back on how many shows they are making. And yeah, I just feel like the numbers here is just gonna, it doesn't look great. You know, this is a major show on Disney Plus. Obviously it has done well compared to other shows, but you know, 400 plus million minutes, it's not a huge amount for an epic, great, big, expensive show costing this amount of money. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Disney might have been doing a little bit of PR work to try and spin the numbers that it was doing maybe better than it is, but it's not a failure in that way. It's just, you can see here when you're comparing Nielsen numbers to previous Star Wars shows of the recent ones, because we can only go back so far, it is drastically down. And you know, that'll be interesting to see how that does over the next few weeks, because Nielsen is like a month behind, so we're going to be getting this data now for at least another sort of 7-8 weeks, seeing how this does. So things could improve. But I don't know. It's yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this comes together. Are you watching The Acolyte? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it and below, and whether or not you were one of the ones that watched it during that first weekend it came out. Let me know in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about a major new release today, because if you are a fan of the Planet of the Apes series, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is now available to purchase on digital platforms, so you can get it on like Amazon, iTunes, etc. I wouldn't expect it to arrive on Disney Plus until next month. That's when it's also coming out on Blu-ray at the end of August. There's like special features and stuff. I really enjoyed the movie. I'm going to be watching it again this week now. I've got the digital version. I saw it when I was recently on vacation. With the Disney Cruise Line, they actually put it on in the big theatre, so I was able to watch it there. Really loved the film. I thought it was fantastic. I've always liked the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes franchise. I thought this film was really, really good. And I think in some ways, it's been 2 months since it came out. Most of the box office numbers has been done. Keeping it in there a few more weeks probably wasn't going to make a huge difference. Did pretty well. Not amazing, but I think this one's going to do really well when it comes out on streaming, obviously at home, and just continues to show really Disney's strategy really of trying to get movies in cinemas, and then they do the digital, and then they will do the streaming alongside like DVD, etc. So a while to go, but yeah, so if you've been wanting to watch this movie at home, you can do, but you're just obviously going to have to pay for it. But I really liked it. I thought it was really, really good. I'm looking forward to, again, watching it this week. But let us know your thoughts on this in the comments below. In our question of the day, which comes from Dana, who says, so what are your thoughts on the announcement of Skydance finally merging with Paramount Global? This definitely came out of nowhere on Sunday night for me. And I think this time it's going through the fact that they've put out a new logo and the plans and stuff. And if Paramount pull out, they have to pay like 400 million. I think it's about 8 billion altogether, which I think is pretty good. I mean, you think like Star Wars and Marvel and stuff were about like 4 million or 4 billion a piece, sorry. So 8 billion for Paramount. I think that's not too bad. It'll be interesting to see where they go. They're kind of, at the minute, doing like a rah-rah speech to kind of, you know, linear's okay. We're still going to make all the job cuts. We're kind of, you know, we need to focus on streaming, do more technology. Personally, I am expecting Paramount to either have Paramount Plus merge in with Max or with Peacock or somebody else and maybe start licensing their content out. I don't think Paramount Plus will survive long term. I think I have it. I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't be resubscribing. I managed to get like a Black Friday deal for like 25 quid for a year. So for that, it was all right. But I don't know if I will cover it. Even though my dad does say he watches it quite a lot because he likes all Star Trek. But definitely, I think this is probably a good thing for Paramount. I think they need some new investments, a new direction, because I think the way they've been running it, they're still, in some ways with these legacy companies, it's catch-22. They have that legacy and they have the history and they have the linear channels and everything else. But it also means it's much harder for them to step forward. I think the idea of them doing Paramount Plus, etc. I think all the studios have realised we all can't subscribe to enough platforms. But if you then become a licensee, you can then make money by basically playing Netflix, Amazon, and Disney off from each other. I mean, who knows? I mean, they maybe could do a deal with Disney to bring Paramount in. I don't think they're probably in line to do it because I think they obviously have to sort out the whole situation with Hulu and the money situation. But yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to see some changes. I think a good, strong Paramount is good for the entertainment industry as a whole. You know, more choice, more selection, and yeah, just not getting swallowed up by one of the other big companies will allow them to kind of still be a major player. Always like Paramount stuff. There's some great shows and movies that they've made, and I think we'll see less from them, but more focused. I think we're going to see that from all the studios, but I think overall, I think this is probably the best bet forward really for Paramount to continue. But let us know what you think about the whole Paramount situation. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Anyway, guys, go check us out over at whatsonatDisneyPlus.com. Make sure you favourite, bookmark, do all of that kind of stuff. Check back tomorrow for a next update on all the latest news. Also, check out yesterday's video where I spoke about Moana. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Later.